you are in the market for bands, wedding bands, anniversary bands, or just a band for you to wear, then this is the episode just for you, okay? So you're in for a treat. Now, that said, we're gonna go over in today's episode 7 bands that basically doesn't go over out of style over time. All right, we've been in the business here at Fire and Brilliance for close to 15 years, and based on our experience, these bands are the bands that people are constantly asking about all the time. It doesn't matter what year it is, year in and year out. And I'll tell you this, some of these bands have been around even before we started the business, and it's been popular ever since when. So if you are interested in your bands, if you're interested and you're in the market to purchase a band, then definitely this is the episode for you. So make sure you tune in. So number one, I'm going to go over the one first and foremost, most classic and timeless band of them all is the classic plain band. If you don't know what a classic plain band is, that's exactly what it is. It's in the name. It's a classic plain band, and there's a high chance that you or potentially your parents, potentially your grandparents, or even your great-grandparents, it's anything that's been handed down as an heirloom, there's a high chance that you may have seen or have received or have bought a classic band. And why is that called a classic and timeless band? It's because it is truly timeless. It definitely will stand the test of time in terms of design, style, trend, fashion, because it's plain and simple. Now, these days, there may be a modern twist to it. Sometimes there might be a satin finish. Sometimes there may be a hammer finish. Sometimes there may be all these different types of finishes. But the whole point of a plain band is to not have anything too extravagant in terms of design or gemstones on the band. So that is our number one on our list, and that is a timeless piece that has not gone over style in terms of a band, and that is a classic plain band. Now let's go on to number two. What is number two on this list? It is actually a single shared prong band. If you don't know what that is, well, first of all it basically means is it's basically a plain band. The only difference is that now you're sprinkling gemstones on it, typically as a one row of gemstones, not two or three, but one row of gemstones, right? Single share prongs, meaning that gemstones will share one prong to hold it in place. And it goes all the way around, or 3/4 of the way, or half of the way down, okay? So it's actually a very classic piece as well. It also has a very timeless look as well. And that is the reason why people love this band. It doesn't matter if it's this year, last year, next year, last decade, next decade. I can foresee this band also standing the test of time when it comes to not going out of style, because again, usually a design when it's a little more simple, that usually will not go out of style. Okay, that said, let's go to number three. Now, this style is definitely a little more extravagant. However, it is very popular. It's been popular for the last decade, and it's still popular today, especially if you are a lover of gemstones, okay? So this is an alternating gemstone band. All that basically means is that you can choose 2 or 3 different types of gemstones in terms of shapes or color or types of gemstones. So for example, let's just say you want a princess cut moissanite and you want to pair that with a marquee lab grown diamond. And then on top of that, if you're feeling a little more extravagant, you want to also throw in a pear shaped sapphire. All that is that you're going to set it up in a way where it looks synchronized, beautiful, so with some symmetry, and it's alternating as it goes around the band, regardless if it's halfway through, as a half eternity band, 3/4 of the way, or as a full eternity band, right? So if you are a lover of gemstones, there are many designs like this where they will mix and match different shapes, different sizes, different carat weight, different types, sapphires, moissanite, lab-grown diamond, rubies, emeralds, what have you. It depends on what you like. And then they alternate it. You know, we alternate it here. And by doing that, it gives you this beautiful band. And it has been very popular this decade, and I can foresee it going to the next decade as well. Okay, so number 4, a multi-stone band. This is one of those very classic bands. Before the alternating gemstone band, this is probably the original alternating gemstone band. The only difference is that it's actually usually goes with the same shape and size. So a multi-stone band basically is either a 3-stone ring, a 4-stone ring, 5-stone ring, 6, 7-stone ring, right? So usually it's the same shape and size, meaning if you are going to choose a cushion 4mm, 5 stones going all the way through, then it's usually the same shape and size. Usually if you wanted to go with, let's just say, a round 6mm blue sapphire and you wanted a 7-stone ring, then it's going to be the same shape and size and type all the way through. So that's usually the multi-stone ring. I've seen it where people will mix and match different colors, different shapes, and different sizes. I've definitely seen that, and we've custom made things like that before, rings like that before. So it's not uncommon to see that, but the original classic look was to have the same shape, same size, same gemstone type all the way through, regardless if you're more into a 3-stone, 4-stone, 5-stone, 6-stone, 7-stone ring. Okay, so that's a multi-stone ring, and that also is a very famous, not famous rather, it's a very timeless piece that has stand the test of time when it came to design and style. All right, number 5 is the micro pave band. The micro pave is very popular. If you've been watching our channel, or even if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're new to the channel, you've been watching our channel for a long time, thank you so much. But the micro pave is probably one of the most popular designs in the modern era, in the last decade or so. What is micro pave? All that basically means is that when we are setting gemstones on a micro pave setting, the amount of metal that is used to set the gemstones is minimized, and the whole purpose is to maximize the exposure of the gemstones so that the sparkle will show. That's the whole point. Okay, so the way it's sliced and diced in terms of the way the metal is cut in a micropave setting is again to expose more of the gemstone to maximize the sparkle, the fire, and the brilliance of the gemstones. And it's very, very popular. So micropaves can be set as a single row, double row, triple row band. It can be a regular micropave. It could be French pave. So it has many, many different ways of actually setting a micropave band, and it is very, very popular. Many people these days are matching their engagement ring with a micropave band. Many people are stacking their bands with micropave bands, and many people are choosing anniversary wedding bands as micropave bands. It's been very popular in the last decade. I can foresee it being still popular in the future, and it's been very, very popular. So it's definitely another band that is going to stand the test of time in terms of style and trend. Okay, so that's number 5. What's number 6? Number 6 is an infinity band, or in other words, some people will call it a twisted band. And again, many of these terminologies, guys, if you guys are watching, you may already know a lot of these terminologies in the industry one company might call it one thing, another company might call it another thing. Our companies will call it one terminology, and another company might call it, but it's all the same idea. Okay, so the words that I'm using are very simplified words so that it's easier to understand. But you know, there are very specific, cute terminologies that people will use. So an infinity shanks, many people will call it a twisted petite band, right? Because it just sounds cuter and sounds better. But then if you think about it, it's a shape of an infinity, right? So number 6 is the infinity band. The infinity band, all it is it's in the name. Basically, it's a shape of infinity that will go zigzag through like a twisted band or like a rope band. Similar, it's not exactly a rope band, but it's an infinity shank, right? And you can either have it plain or put gemstones on it or put designs on it, such as mill grain. Okay, so it just really depends on your style, your taste, but the overall aesthetics of the design is the infinity shank. And you could do it as half eternity, full eternity, or 3/4. It's really up to you. It's also on our list as number 6 in terms of bands that is still trendy and is going to be hard to go out of style. Okay, number 7, last but not least, is the contour band. What is a contour band? A contour band is all of the bands above that I had mentioned, from a classic to a single shared prong, to an alternating gemstone, to a multi-stone, to a micropave band, to even an infinity band. The only difference between what a contour band versus all the other bands is that it's actually custom designed to contour around the engagement ring Or in other words, to hug the main center stone of the engagement ring so that it looks as if it's a one piece and it matches and it fits perfectly and it hugs each other, and that's the way it's supposed to be, right? So that's a contour band. A contour band, let's just say if you had an engagement ring with an infinity design, then and you want a contour band so that it can contour and it could be a matching fit for that band, then it will be custom designed. For example, we will do it here at Fine Brilliance all the time for our clients, and we'll contour that infinity shank with an infinity band so that it could fit the center stone of the infinity main engagement ring. And the same goes for if it's a plain band or a micro pave band or any other band that you decide to do. Let's just say if you do not want a straight band but you prefer a contour band, then you can do that with customizations. Okay, so those are the 7 wedding bands that remains in style over time. It's been in style for decades, and I foresee it going and being in style way in the future. Maybe even one day after I'm retired and no longer in the business, I can still foresee it still being very, very popular. Okay, so again, the 7 bands are the classic bands, the single prong, shared prong bands, the alternating gemstones, the multi-stone, the micro pave, the infinity twisted band, and the contour band. Is there a specific band that I did not put on this list that you believe will stand the test of time in terms of style, taste, trends, and all of that? And if I missed it, make sure you leave in the comment section below, share it with somebody, because I may have very well missed it, and maybe someone else might love that band too. Okay, so obviously there's only 7 of them. I'm sure I could list another 13 to make it all 20. So that said, if there's a band that you actually have and you believe that it will stand the test of time in terms of style, taste, and trends, make sure you leave in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Again, thank you so much for following us all over the internet, all over these years, and I will see you again next time. Goodbye.